Okay, hey there. This is a tutorial about how to do the Pyraminx. So, this is one of the most easiest methods out there, and you can get pretty fast with it, like sub-10s, consistently. Um, Back in my day, I could do like a sub-10 average with this, but like my only best official average is like 11 seconds, but I'd only practiced for 2 weeks before the competition, so yeah. First of all, this method's really easy. It's pretty intuitive too. So first, we would get the first layer, and we would also match the tips with the centers before going on. So I've matched the tips, and so now I would go for the first layer. I noticed that blue is really easy first layer, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm not going to use blue. I'm going to use green. So in order to do green, we would first make sure we get these 3 pieces the same color. I'm going to call these center pieces because they're not edges, and I wouldn't really call them corners either. So these 3 centers, make sure they're the same color. So now we're going to fill in the pieces between them with the same color. It's similar to 3x3. You need to have a first layer that's both oriented and permuted. So this piece, well, we're going to look at the green. This piece is green and yellow. So we look at the green and yellow slot here, and then we just slot it in. So it's just like 3x3. And then we put it in. So I'll undo that. We basically want to get this green and yellow piece into the green and yellow slot. So I'll do this. And there we go. So next, I see green and blue. I want to get it into the green and blue slot. So I just put it in the slot. This is really intuitive, and the more you practice with this, the more intuitive you get, and you can do this in like a few seconds, and if you're lucky, you can do this in like 1 second. I'm not exaggerating, but put that in the slot, so we only have one left, and it's here. Green, orange. So green, orange goes here, so I'll do that one more time. Green, orange, into the green and orange slot. So now, we have a completed first layer. So now, we want to match the centers with the corresponding colors. So here, all of the edges are correctly permuted. Sometimes you'll get that case, and you'll be left with only 2 pieces to be oriented. That's the last step. This is the equivalent to like an OLL skip. But to orient 2 pieces, you're going to need an algorithm. That algorithm is pretty easy, and you can do this under a second actually. So to do this algorithm, it's R prime, L, R, L prime, U, L prime, U prime, L. When it's fast, it's like this. But I'm really slow at the algorithm. Some people are crazy fast at it, like Otter on the forums. But usually you won't get that case. Usually, most of the time, you'll get a case that looks like this, with 3 edges completely misplaced. So you can do either a commutator, solve it all at once, or you can do what I do. You look at one edge. This edge has to go here, to the right. To make it go to the right, you do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime. Now you'll notice it's kind of like this algorithm for 303, the soon. And you're right, it is the soon, except with U instead of U2. So it's R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Anyways, back to Pyraminx. After that, you'll notice you'll usually get two pieces misoriented. So we just repeat the orientation alg from before. So what if it goes to the left? So what if this piece has to go to the left? If it has to go to the left, then we would have to do a different algorithm. We can either do the same algorithm on the left side, or we can do the algorithm R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, which leaves us with two pieces misoriented. So we can just do the orientation algorithm. It's really that simple. So I'll do an example solve really fast, just to show how this method works. So to continue on, you can, after learning this method, and after hitting the limit of around 6 or 7 seconds, you might want to go on to a faster method. You can either learn like a one-look last layer, or like go on and learn OCA method. But I've gotten these three centers matched, and then I've gotten the first layer, and now match the centers. This has to go to the left, so, and then these two have to be oriented, so, boom, example solved. So let me time one. I haven't practiced with Pyraminx in like months, but you'd also want to get a good Pyraminx. I've seen some Pyraminxes that are so loose you could do like a U4 turn with a flick of the wrist. But this is a cube for you, Pyraminx, and it's really good. So do a quick look. Nine seconds. That was actually a really lucky solve, but yeah, that just shows how fast the method is if you have like a skip. But hopefully you learned something from the tutorial, and best of luck.